So Leanne has a question for you. She said, Zach,
wow.
what got you through those tough times, the lows, for those of us who need some tutoring in encouragement?
Oh man, that's a great question. I really feel like, man, worship just popped into my head big time because I was praising him through the storm. When I say that I was needing him, I was still, making sure I was leaning into him before I was leaning into other things. Even though it's like, don't get me wrong, I still was human and I found other things to try that I thought would bring me pleasure or joy or ease the pain, but that wasn't what at the end of the day I knew like would get me to that next level of what I needed to do. So I was still worshiping for all he's done through the Gospels and through my life up until that point. I was just more so really, I was having to really fight the flesh to get in the spirit, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've noticed, just since you and I have known each other, we're probably about 1.5 years, 2 years now, as you've been going through this season of transition, is that you have positioned yourself next to godly people, and you have put yourself under God. I mean, and that's one of the things I love about the times you and I have had coffee. You came to my discipleship training, that you are extremely teachable. There's just such a humble spirit there, and an ability to recognize this person has something that I want. So I'm going to sit with them. Like we showed up and you show up with a piece of paper and a pen. Like you're expecting to learn. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about you. And I would imagine that a lot of that has helped get you through some of the difficult times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's deep you say that, because I've realized the power of just like other people in your life that do walk that walk, like I try constantly, like even in July, I had like a month where I was July and June, it was like summer. I was feeling very like I'm in my house now. I have a great, I'm making a great living right now. I felt like everything was just going well, but at the same time, I still feel like I needed Jesus just as much when things were going well, if not more than when things were going crappy,
Yeah.
So now it kind of made me wake up and realize like, all right, I need to lean into him even more going into August, because August reminds me of like kids are back in school, new season starting up. And I was like, all right. And then I saw Calvary was doing a 21-day prayer and fast. And I've been putting off fasting for so long. I've used so many excuses of like, I live in an RV. Like, I can't give away. Like, I
am fasting my entire life right now. I have fasted my house, my own bathroom.
For real.
Come on, I don't have a living room.
Preach, yes. I live in 25 feet. Like, I don't want to fast.
I feel you. I justify your lack of fasting.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. So finally I'm in this situation where I'm like, all right, God, what do I need to fast? And the first thing that popped in my mind was beer, because for June and July, I was just kind of like, I was too much easy going with it. I was too much like, oh, I can control like, this and that, or like, I always make sure I'm careful. And then it's like, do you though? Like, do you actually have like as much control or authority over it as you think you do? So I just kind of gave it to God, because I felt like that was the thing I needed to fast. So let's just say that. And I gave it to him. And I went all through August, and I'm still like on it, just kind of kept it through. And I've just really seen that he's blessed me in so many other ways that made me feel like I don't even need to have that as my enjoyment. But I'm also rediscovering kind of like what it is that I need to do that helps me. I don't know if the word is like kind of like relax or wind down, or it's kind of a hard thing, I'm sure, because you've experienced people that are in that realm of like, I don't want to say addiction, but you know what I mean, of like where do you turn to next?
Or you have some kind of a coping skill to help you step into a state of calmness or peace, something that helps you.
Or even just like kind of like it's Memorial Day, like, let's have drinks, have a good time, or like, let's go out, let's like there's what is that look like when you're not doing that? And I don't know, I'm still kind of figuring that out. God's still kind of working through me on that, but he revealed to me in that season that he has so much more for me. And my business just completely took off in August to the point where it was just like, oh my gosh, like, wow, this is what you can do. And then it got me also just more focused on the book. I was just finished editing my book. Finally, it feels like I did 4 different.
The writing part of a book is easy.
4 different cycles of editing, And it was 30,000 words. So I'm just like, I was in it this August, and I just finished this a couple of days ago, actually. So trying to go through all that, and he just reveals to me that he has so much more for me when I give things to him and when I surrender it over to him.